Good afternoon. I'll tell you what, I'm really discouraged. I mean, it's been raining now for a week um, from that Hurricane Helene. And I'm in Ohio, and Tennessee even got extensively damaged from that hurricane. Floods and buildings tore up and bridges tore up and um, power lines down everywhere. And although I'm tired and I'm weary and I'd like to get out of the house a little bit, but I don't feel like getting out in this rain. But I thought, well, maybe I'd take the time to do this video on what could we do uh, in cases such as that, hurricanes or um, wherever they go to. I mean, we're used to them being on the shores of California and Mexico and Florida and up the East Coast, but to travel all the way up into Tennessee and Virginia and places like that, to do all that damage, people aren't used to that. So, and they weren't expecting it. So, and that's the thing about being prepared, and that's for anything. Be prepared for anything. With the weather doing all the strange things it's doing, and the hackers bringing the grid down all the time, and the powers that be that are always trying to come up with a new thing. While back, in which they made it mandatory that the landlords in New York and different places like that have to uh, what's the word I want to use? Um, put electric cooking stoves in instead of the gas stoves, the natural gas. So I know that we're supposed to live in the now, and I think that's only for certain things. Like if you live in the now, don't go to the future to worry about what the future is going to be or anything like that. But I think we should be prepared. So with all the talk that's going around with getting rid of the wood stoves and getting rid of the natural gas stoves, and what that means for heat too. So are they going to get rid of the propane too? I don't know. So guess now is as good a time as any is to start searching things out and seeing what we can come up with. Now, right now, this camper, I have a propane furnace, and it's run by electric and propane because the blower runs on the electric. And I've got set up with a company, a 3-year term, to supply me with the propane, and it's a 120-gallon tank or pound tank, however you say it. And I have some electric heaters. Now, the good thing about gas and or propane or butane, which butane now comes in, you can get them little buddies, and you can get them smaller and you can get them bigger, and they've got the little tanks, the little green tanks about that big that fit on them, and it's got propane in them. Now for cooking, they do have the little gas butane that runs like a gas stove. That they're little canisters about that big around and about that tall. and you hook them onto it for cooking. But that that to me is all considered gas. So and the reason why they say they want to get rid of them is because um, of the carbon that it's putting out in the air. But you think about it, they are also dangerous. So um, you almost sometimes just want to give up, and trying to figure out what's good for you. I mean, here a couple weeks ago, we were without electric for a few hours, but I have this little lamp right here, this little lamp, and it's got a touch thing like that, and you plug it in, and you charge it, and you got to have one of them little USB cords with a C on the end that fits into it. So I do have light. Now the camper will run off of batteries. I don't. I'm not sure whether or not it would run the furnace or not, but everybody that is like in town and in an apartment or a house, uh, is your house heated on gas or is it electric? So you got to be prepared for it to go either way. If they come along and say your landlord no longer can use not propane, gas heating stoves or gas cooking stoves, then what's he gonna do or she gonna do? They're gonna have to renovate um, the place, because if it's not set up for gas to begin with, that's okay. If it's all electric, you're okay. But okay, then you ain't got nothing. If your electric goes out, then you're gonna be without lights and heat and no way to cook, unless of course you have one of them little butane cooking stoves, and then but you gotta crack your window open somewhere. You gotta have some ventilation to run one of them. Now you probably could cook outside if it wasn't raining, but again, there you go. So I have um, three electric heaters. One is my fireplace, and one is another little 12 watt, 1200 watt um, uh, blower forced heat, and the other one is a little 400 watt heater, and I've got it in my bedroom. So, but all those are run off electric. So um, if the electric goes out or the electric grid goes down, and for days or weeks, then what am I going to do? Now, my daughter and son-in-law just recently got a generator, but it runs on gas. So there you go. If it runs on gas and you can't get to the gas station, and um, there's no gas at the gas station, like with these hurricanes, um, they're tearing up the gas stations too. So then what do you do? So each one of us has got to sit down and figure out what would be best for us. Now I've got a little um, propane Mr. Buddy, and my son had it for a while, and I got it out and was cleaning it up because he had a fire at his place. Not because of that, but because of his wood burner. So I was cleaning it up and trying to take the tank off, and finally I took it outside after I got the tank off because there was some residue of propane coming out. So I don't know how to run it yet. I don't know how to hook it up yet. I'll definitely have to Google it or YouTube it or something and find out and be all ready for that in case the electric goes out. Now I got the propane gas stove that I can cook on, and I can heat with that too. But it's not going to heat the whole place. But I still have to have ventilation, and so it can be quite a quandrum, wondering what to do, and each one of us is different. Now, some of you might be afraid to run a little buddy, but um, those sort of things, but you got to do it afraid. I mean, if you don't have no place else to go and you're there all by yourself, and winters get pretty doggone cold, and you can say, well, I'll get under the covers and whatnot, and well, what about if you got birds? What if you got a bird that's going to freeze to death? Uh, if you've got a cat or a dog, they've got to stay warm too. So, well, you're going to curl up with them. Now, I have last winter, I did put her up. I made her a little bed in the corner of my bed because I really don't like sleeping with animals. But I made her a little corner on my bed and put her little blanket and up there and kept her covered up because it got pretty cold in here. And that bedroom especially got cold. So, but once it got warm enough out, then I started having her come out here and sleep out here at night. But it's hard to sit down and think about what you can do. Now, wood stove wouldn't work in here. First of all, I can't handle the wood smoke, the smoke that comes out. I'm allergic to it. And I'm sure many of you are too. Now, a lot of you probably are got a house that you have a fireplace or one of them older wood burning stoves and so forth, but they're trying to do away with them. I don't know what people would or what they maybe they don't want us to figure it out and find ways of staying warm and things like that. I don't know the answer to what the powers that want to be are thinking. Um, but here again, it comes in with our critical thinking. So get you some of these. This cost me $17 on Amazon. It's just called, and I can't even remember the link that I had to it, but it's just called a chargeable uh, table lamp. And they've got different kinds of them. You plug them in and it charges up. You take the cord off and there you go. And you just got to read and you got to do your research. So there would be, get a couple of them and you got your light. But then on the other hand, the dollar store, Dollar Tree, has these little things that you put batteries in and they're only $1.25 and it'll give you light, two or three of them, and put them around, place them around the house, hang them, you stick them to the wall and stuff like that. Um, Flashlights, naturally, always keep flashlights around if you want a light, but if you just want to sit and read or something like this would work nicely, but you got to make sure you keep it charged up. And that's where you got to be aware. You got to be aware of what you're doing and what you're not doing, and what you got to do to be comfortable during an outage or after a hurricane or after a tornado or um, um, the power grid go down or something. internet. Um, of course, naturally, if the power grid's down, the internet's going to go out. Uh, Even if you have internet on your phone, data on your phone, keep your phone charged up. They have these little boxes that you can buy, and they're for phones that you keep them charged up, and you hook your phone to it, and when you don't have no other way to charge your phone. Now you can go out in your car, as long as you've got plenty of gas in your car, charge your phone that way. But from the reports that I'm getting, some things are coming. You better stock up on your food and stuff. And actually, the government told us, the United States here anyway, told us that stock up on at least 2 or 3 months worth of food and water if you don't have water or whatever. The ports are all on strike. The ones that where they ship the food and stuff from across other countries and stuff like that. And I personally, I just assume that we didn't get our food from other countries. And the truckers are going on strike. That's the plan, and unless the unions can do something about it. So it's just an endless distraction, and to keep us struggling to live, and to keep everything, uh, our food and stuff cold. Well, I would. I have some canned stuff, and I didn't want. I don't like the processed food, but what else you gonna do? You got to do what's best for you, but prepare. And if you have family that's talking to you and stuff, and you all know that you can get together and pull all your forces together in one household, that would probably be your best bet. If you're alone, like some of us are, but I'm really not alone. My family's right here. There's 4 of us here, and so it's and I got a brother and sister in a little town not far from here. So the whole thing is stock up on food and beans galore. Stock up on beans. I've got all kinds of beans. And potatoes, if you keep them in the refrigerator. Now, that used to be they'd have root cellars dug back inside of a hill, and it stays cool when the food and stuff's in the ground like that. They'd put their apples, bushels of apples and stuff in there. So stock up on some apples, different kinds of apples, and oranges last a little bit longer. But here's apples will give you a lot of the nutrients that you need. And get the canned stuff, and make sure you have plenty of rags around in case you can't get toilet paper. And if your water's not flushing, make sure you have a way that you can go to the bathroom. Get you one of those portable potties that they have in nursing homes and stuff like that. And all you have to do is empty it, but make sure you have plenty of water. If you're in town and you have a flushable commode, just sit down and make your list of everything that's going to be necessary for you if the grid goes down, if you have a hurricane, if at wintertime, I think wintertime is the worst time really as far as staying warm. And so with the strikes coming, I would focus on um, staying warm, have some food in the house, and that would be my everybody's best bet. So right now, like I said, I haven't ordered any propane yet. Right now, I've still got like 37%, and so things are changing, and with the seasons are changing, the hurricanes are getting more severe, and winds are toppling down the trees and knocking the electricities out and stuff. And I'll tell you, I'm tired. I didn't sleep last night. So anyway, that I know that. I can just tell you what I can do because everybody's different, and I'm not even sure what all I can do yet because I'm a little bit leery of the Mr. Buddy. But if I had to use it, then I would use it rather than freeze. The propane, that would help keep me warm in here on the cooking stove, as long as I've got propane in a tank. There again, I have to be fully aware of that before the snow hits. And get some movies and stuff like that. Get you a DVD player. Get you an antenna. If you can't get out and stuff, so because if the internet, here if you ain't got no electric, what's the sense? But solar, look at today now. It's bad. It's been like this for a week now. Solar wouldn't hardly do me much good at all unless I had a lot of solar panels and a big enough solar pack to gather up enough energy from the sun. So just a small one wouldn't do me any good in all of this. So those are some things that I've got to think about myself. And to have a bigger one is going to cost about $3,000, anywhere between $3,000 and $6,000. So again, it all comes down to money, 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 money. Now, unless you move to Arizona, you're gonna have plenty of light. So, but anyway, this was just I didn't think much on this. I didn't have too much to say about it, but except be prepared the best way you can. Sit down and figure out what's best for you. And get that old noggin to thinking. And just don't take the word of anybody else that comes along and says this, that, or whatever. So today it's hard for me to say this. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. So we'll talk to you later.